Have you ever wondered why China must stop bullying the Philippines before it's too late? Let's delve into the heart of the matter, the ongoing territorial disputes in the South China Sea. This isn't just about a few square miles of ocean. It's about the balance of power, economic stability, and most importantly, the sanctity of international law. The South China Sea, a seemingly innocuous stretch of water, is actually a geopolitical tinderbox. It's home to potentially vast oil and gas reserves, not to mention one of the world's most crucial shipping lanes. The Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan all lay claim to parts of it, but it's China's aggressive territorial claims that have stoked the fires of controversy. Now let's rewind a bit. The history of the situation is critical to understanding why it's so fraught today. After the end of World War II, the newly formed United Nations drew up the Law of the Sea, establishing exclusive economic zones for each coastal nation. For the most part, nations have abided by this law. However, China has taken a different approach, claiming nearly the entire South China Sea as its own, based on historical nine-dash line that has little basis in modern international law. This has led to a tense standoff, with China constructing artificial islands and militarizing them in direct defiance of a 2016 ruling by the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague. This ruling invalidated China's claims, affirming the Philippines' rights to its exclusive economic zone. The importance of peaceful resolution here cannot be overstated. While the territorial disputes involve several nations, the focus here is on China and the Philippines, a David and Goliath story playing out on the world stage. It's a test of whether might makes right, or whether smaller nations can stand up to larger ones and demand respect for international law. The stakes are high and the world watches with bated breath. We must remember that at the core of these disputes are real people and their livelihoods. The outcome of this issue has the potential to send ripples across the globe, affecting us all in ways we might not even foresee. But what exactly is going on? Why is there such a power struggle in this part of the world? To understand this, we need to delve into the power dynamics at play. China in the past few decades has been rising as a global power. With its booming economy and military prowess, it has been able to exert its influence far and wide. But what does that mean for the Philippines? Well, the Philippines is strategically located at the heart of the Asia-Pacific region. It's a gateway of sorts, connecting the Pacific Ocean with the rest of Asia. This location, coupled with its rich natural resources, makes the Philippines a significant player in regional geopolitics. Now let's talk economics. China has been expanding its economic footprint across the globe, and the Philippines is no exception. In fact, China is one of the Philippines' largest trading partners. This economic interdependence creates a complex dynamic where economic pressure can be used as a tool for influence. Moving on to the military aspect, China's military expansion in the South China Sea has been a major point of contention. With the construction of artificial islands and military installations, China has been asserting its territorial claims, much to the concern of the Philippines and other neighboring countries. And let's not forget politics. The Philippines, a democratic nation, has been navigating these choppy waters with a mixture of resistance and conciliation. The political leadership's stance towards China's actions has significant implications for the power dynamics in the region. But remember, this isn't just a regional issue. China's actions and the Philippines' responses have far-reaching implications. They aren't just shaping the future of the Asia-Pacific region, but are also influencing global political, economic, and military landscapes. In this game of power and influence, every move matters. The tension between China and the Philippines isn't just about these two nations, it's about the balance of power in the world, it's about the principles that govern international relations, it's about the future of global peace and stability. This is not just a regional issue, but a global one. So how does this affect the Philippines, and why should we care? Well, let's take a moment to ponder. The dispute with China has a profound impact on the Philippines on multiple fronts. Economically, it restricts the country's access to its own resources, hampering growth and development. It's like having a gold mine in your backyard, but not being allowed to dig. From a security perspective, the constant tension escalates the risk of conflict, creating an atmosphere of unease. Imagine living next door to a bully who constantly threatens your peace of mind. The sovereignty of the Philippines is also under threat. The country's ability to exercise its rights over its own territory is being challenged, undermining its independence. It's akin to having your home, but not being able to decide what happens within its walls. This issue matters to everyone, not just Filipinos. It's about standing up against bullying and preserving the rights of smaller nations. The future of the Philippines hangs in the balance. Before we go any further, let's take a quick breath. In that breath, consider doing one small thing for us. See that subscribe button below? Give it a click. It's a simple way to stay updated on this and other crucial topics. It's your personal portal to knowledge, to understanding, to being part of the global conversation. Now, with that done, let's plunge back into the depths of our discussion. Now, let's dive deeper into the issue. What is the international community doing about this situation? The international community, a vast and diverse collective of nations, has not been a silent observer in this situation. The United Nations, an organization created to promote peace, security, and international cooperation, has taken a keen interest in the ongoing dispute between China and the Philippines. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, is a key instrument in this scenario. It provides a legal framework for the use and conservation of the world's oceans and their resources. Both China and the Philippines are signatories to this convention, and it is through this international law that the dispute can be resolved. In 2016, the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague ruled in favor of the Philippines, stating that China's claims in the South China Sea were inconsistent with the principles of UNCLOS. However, China rejected this ruling, leading to a stalemate that persists to this day. Major powers such as the United States and the European Union have also voiced their concern about the situation. They have called for peaceful resolution, respect for international law, and freedom of navigation in the South China Sea. Diplomacy plays a crucial role in resolving such disputes. It's a delicate dance of negotiation, persuasion, and compromise. Diplomatic efforts, both bilateral and multilateral, are ongoing to address this issue. Yet the challenge lies in the fact that these are not just territorial disputes. They are intertwined with issues of national pride, economic interests, and regional stability. Thus, the resolution is not as simple as drawing lines on a map. It requires understanding, patience, and most importantly, the willingness to find common ground. The international community's response, while varied, is unified in its call for a peaceful resolution. But it's clear that more needs to be done. The world must not only watch, but also act. The world cannot afford to stand by and watch. So where do we go from here? What can be done to resolve this issue? The question hangs in the air, a challenge to us all. It demands our attention, our thought, our action. The answer, my friends, lies in a multitude of potential solutions, each with its own merits and challenges, and each requiring a commitment to peace, respect for international law, and the courage to stand up for what is right. Firstly, diplomatic negotiations. As the old saying goes, the pen is mightier than the sword. In the face of aggression, we must remember the power of dialogue and negotiation. It is through these channels that we can express our concerns, voice our grievances, and seek common ground. A peaceful resolution is always preferred, and through open, honest dialogue, we can work towards an agreement that respects the sovereignty of all nations involved. Next, we turn our gaze to international arbitration. When disputes arise between nations, it is essential to have an unbiased third party to mediate and arbitrate. This gives all parties involved the assurance of a fair hearing and the knowledge that the outcome will be based on international law, not the whims of any one nation. By committing to international arbitration, we demonstrate our respect for the rule of law and our willingness to abide by its decisions. Now let's consider the role of regional alliances. In times of strife, there is strength in numbers. By strengthening our alliances with neighboring nations, we can present a united front against any form of bullying. These alliances not only provide support in times of crisis, but they also serve as a deterrent against further aggression. A lone voice can be ignored, but a chorus of voices standing together is much harder to dismiss. But let's not forget, these solutions are not exclusive. They can and should be pursued in tandem. It's a bit like cooking a stew. You need a mix of ingredients, each adding its own flavor to create a dish that is wholesome and satisfying. And like a good stew, it will take time, patience, and careful tending. So there we have it. The path forward may be fraught with challenges and uncertainties, but it is clear it requires courage to stand up against aggression, diplomacy to negotiate peaceful solutions, and a commitment to international law and regional alliances. It's a difficult path, no doubt, but it's the only path that leads to a world where every nation's sovereignty is respected, where peace prevails over conflict. The path forward is clear, but it requires courage, diplomacy, and a commitment to peace. What we've discussed today is not just about the Philippines and China. It's a global concern, a dialogue about power dynamics, the impacts on a nation, and the collective international response. We've delved into the path forward, the need for a peaceful resolution. This issue, like many others, invites us all to ponder, to question, and to engage, because only through understanding can we foster change. Subscribe for more amazing contents. Keep wondering. Don't miss out on future explorations and discoveries. Hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated with our new content. Your journey of wonder continues with every video. Stay connected and engaged on social media. Continue the conversation, follow us. Thank you for being a part of the Have You Ever Wondered community. Keep wondering, keep discovering. Until next time.